on. You're here with me and Scizzorhands every second Wednesday, coming to you live from Burger Fuel headquarters. This is a new venture for me. It's quite interesting. I'm learning a lot, and it's been quite fun. And right now, I'm actually geeking out a little bit because we've got Stro Elliot. Stro Elliot, how are you, bro?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. You're here. I'm happy.
I'm happy to be here, sir.
Oh man, thank you for coming through. I've got to find myself. Give me a second.
No worries.
All right, sweet. Let's get started. So you're here doing a show in New Zealand. You've done Australia already?
Yeah, I've been in Australia for the last week or so. So yeah.
Oh, it's cool. So is this the first time you've been to New Zealand?
It's my first time in New Zealand. Yeah, my second time in Australia, but
yeah.
For sure my first time in New Zealand.
Just make sure you don't get the two mixed up, bro. We're not Australia.
Yeah. No, I was actually earlier trying to figure out the difference between the flags, because that was throwing me a bit.
It's funny is bring that up. Like there was this big thing where the Prime Minister was trying to change our flag, and no one wanted it changed.
I would imagine not. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a awkward thing actually. And going on to that, like I don't want to bring it up, but you know, America's going through some pretty strange times.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, okay, we'll move on.
No, it's it's different. It's definitely different there. But just like anything else, I feel like it's something that we can get through. As a people, in that country, everything. I think everything is just going to depend a lot more on the citizens, probably more so than the leadership at this point. So we'll see, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, from where we're looking, I don't want to comment anymore. Actually, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Good. It's all good.
So you started. How long ago did you start your hip hop career?
Ooh, quite a while ago. I was in a crew called the Percussions. We probably started somewhere around 2003, 2004, and pretty much hit the ground running. Started touring nationally and then eventually internationally, until we eventually signed to Rockets for our second release, and that kind of continued. A lot more touring, a lot more music, and pretty much from then up all the way up until now, music has pretty much been my lifestyle. So I've been really fortunate.
Yeah, I mean, in the last couple of years as well, it looks like things have been popping off quite well with you. You've been hanging out with Jazzy Jeff, and you're doing playlists as well?
Yeah, there's a playlist retreat, and then there's a playlist sessions. The playlist retreat was initially started as something that Jeff wanted to kind of have his favorite DJs come through. It was his idea to invite the producers that the DJs were also playing. So people like myself, Tall Black Guy, amongst a bunch of other producers were invited the first year, and by the second year it was something that grew even more to even sort of artists and writers and whatnot. The playlist sessions started as something a year ago, which was initially something where we were there to work on music. A much smaller group of people were there to work on Jeff's upcoming album. It ended up turning into like this free-for-all of about 17 hours worth of music that no one really touched. So he decided to refine it a little bit this year and pull the artist Glenn Lewis into the fold and have that sort of be the target instead of it just kind of being this this free-for-all. And so it created an opportunity for us to focus a little bit more this time around.
Yeah, did you have quite a bit to do with some like the drumming and all that on those particular tracks? Yeah.
Pretty much my role every day or every morning, or no, every day is more accurate. I pretty much would come down in the studio. Keyboardist Daniel Crawford, Kaidi Tatham, amongst a bunch of other guests of people who came through, would just be in the studio, and we just kind of vibe out for a while and just sort of play live, and the tapes just kind of continue to roll, taping everything we did, and we would sort of go back and try to and fine tune some things that we thought were good ideas, until the writers heard something that they liked. They would take it right to it, and the production would begin in terms of it becoming a song. So yeah, pretty much on I'm at least on 60 or 70% of the album in terms of contributions on the beat machine. So
that's cool, bro. I was watching quite a lot of the live videos. You guys were going live from the studio and stuff. I found it really inspiring, and the hashtag through the whole thing was chasing goosebumps as well. Yeah. I think that's an important thing of music. Something that gives me goosebumps is something that the tracks I'm going to love forever.
Yeah.
Basically. And then the album came out, and the album's called Chasing Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Was that something that Jeff was constantly telling you guys? Like, we need to be chasing this feeling as such?
It wasn't something that he hammered home as much as it was something that was said in the beginning, and the idea of it sort of stuck with us. The idea was more or less, create something that's gonna make you feel goosebumps. So, throughout the entire musical process, we'd make a lot of music, but we'd only stop on the things that gave us that feeling. You know what I mean? Like, we could sit there and we could play for hours, and some of it was good, but we were going for great. The music that. We would stop and listen to if we heard it on the street somewhere, even if only 3 seconds of it. So that was kind of more or less the goal, was to sort of make something that gave you that feeling that you get when you get goosebumps. So
yeah, no, it's cool. I love it, bro. I hands down on being part of that collective too. It's a big thing as well for Jeff to be handpicking you, so you're good at what you do. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean. For as many people in the industry that he knows, and as many, and just as long as he's been in the industry, and he's sort of been there and done that as far as everything. He's seen everything, not only from being a DJ, but someone who sort of ran a label and has sort of pulled, a lot of people under his coattail. Like, he's sort of been there and done that with everything. So yeah, to be in a situation where, he's handpicked you for for some things or a specific function is absolutely a big deal, and something I don't take for granted.
Yeah. Well, okay, going back to the drumming thing, I was talking about drumming a second ago. For those of you who don't know, Stro Elliot's master at finger drumming, the funky finger drummer. What was something that made you want to practice that and become good at it?
Well, it was funny. I just told this story down at Melodics, actually. When I first started making music, when I first started making beats, so to speak, it was my understanding that that's how beats were made. I assumed, like, the first time I heard like a Pete Rock joint or a Gangstar joint, that the way that the drums were made is that you played them live. And so it wasn't until years after the fact that I figured out that wasn't the case. I'm watching like a video of someone making a beat, and they're going in one at a time and then starting over, and I kind of did one of those things. But by that point, I had sort of already kind of developed this skill of playing drums, at the time on keyboards, but then later on pads. I would eventually get an ASRX and then an MPC, and so it was always just kind of a habit and kind of a quick tool for me to be able to sort of lay drums and get the idea out faster, more than it was something that I practiced as being, an actual tool. It wasn't actually until I met Jeff, until I was at the sessions last year, and I had an MPD, which only has 16 pads, and he watched me on it, and he was like, "Wait, you play drums on pads like a drummer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's something I do to just kind of get the idea out." And he was like, no, that's good. You should continue to do that. On top of that, you should get a push. And, I kind of pushed him away for a while. Like, no, I don't want to learn Ableton and do the whole push thing and everywhere. But he was pretty persistent and had, them actually send me one, which I didn't unbox for a couple weeks. But once I actually did, it ended up being, probably one of the greatest tools, and continues to be. It's something I continue to learn, and it seems pretty endless what I can do with it up until this point. So, yeah.
That's cool. So you're going to be using a push tomorrow night?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Neck of the Woods. Get down to Neck of the Woods. Check out Stro Elliot tomorrow night on his Ableton push, smashing buttons and making funky tunes. That's cool, bro. So on that tip, we're going to be giving away 2 tickets tomorrow night to Stro Elliot's show, so you can see the funky drummer live, the funky pad drummer live. Yeah. So you just got to tell us. Let me just quickly think about it. Actually, where is the show tomorrow night. If you tell us where the show is tomorrow night, you'll know where to go because you're going to get the tickets. So hit us up in the comment section there, and we can move on. Thank you heaps for coming in, bro.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's cool. Have a great show tomorrow night. Have heaps of fun. That's what it's all about. It's music.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank you very much, bro.